Yes, I agree. Ow! Way back in the back. Aha! Is it good stuff? What? Yes or yes? Yes. That's awesome stuff. Okay, Tom Clancy, world famous author, once said, fix your eyes forward on what you can do, not backward on what you cannot change. How many are so stuck because for whatever reason they have not yet been able to stop focusing and wallowing in the past, but instead and stay there rather than seeing all of what can be learned from the past merely to create a new future. In fact, one of the best ways I think to do that if you face those difficult situations is to make a choice. And it's about enthusiasm. Henry Chester once said, enthusiasm is the greatest asset in the world. It beats money, power, and influence. Why? Because true enthusiasm, not artificial smiley stuff, but true, powerful, from the gut and the soul enthusiasm is magnetic. It is attracting. And with time, it can attract all those other things for you. I'm going to bring up to the stage now a couple that I am absolutely blessed to be able to call friends, but I really got to know, particularly in her case, more about the depth of the story. You know, in your book, you get to read about the speakers, their little bios. That's what we like to call the glory. What I really want to look for is the story. So I'm going to take just a moment and share with you a story of two people. I like to consider it a story of serendipity. Let's talk about a guy named Tom. Tom has had an interesting life. He's kind of a jack of all trades. He's a radio show host. He's been the owner of a PR firm. At one time, he was an airplane salesman. Imagine if you're selling something like nutrition or skincare and you decide to tell your prospectors, hey, let's just try the product, take it for a spin. Now be an airplane salesman. Hey, let's just take it for a spin. I told some friends, don't let this dwell on you too much, but imagine as mere mortals on Earth, we could be walking outside, hear a plane overhead, and it's possible that Tom could be at the controls. And once you meet Tom, you'll know what I mean. He's also been a stockbroker at one point, so he was very focused heavily on sales and transaction and conclusion. But Tom's a very transparent guy. I mean, he is who he is, and he boldly puts it out there. And like that competitive world of stockbroking, you know, when he's done, you work hard during the day. Sometimes you play hard at night, go out with the buddies and your fellow brokers, tell your glory stories, have a few drinks. And Tom, over the years, suddenly the drinks became more sometimes than the work. But he is now 30 years sober, and he's recovered from that. But as he said, when I met network marketing, I realized it might be the only thing left. Who was going to hire me? And he dug in with that passion and enthusiasm, but he struggled. Why? He couldn't get past that sales mentality. And he said he had very little success. But at about the 1 year mark, he said there was this thing from his coaching, his mentorship, there was something that clicked. And he realized, hang on a minute. It's no longer about me, it's about them. And he said that was the pivot moment that shifted. And suddenly his career path started to soar. Let's tell you a little bit about a woman named Denice. Denice's background, she, like I said, you had to do your work somewhere, sometimes it's sport. She was a competitive equestrian when she was young, yet she came from a family that didn't have a lot. Well, anybody who's owned a horse knowing buying a horse, anybody can do it. Owning the horse, that's extremely expensive. And an equestrian, that's a different type of animal altogether. So how was she able to do it? When she tells you the story, she said it was simple. I worked my ass off. I was at the stables at 4 a.m. cleaning out stables. I was braiding the horses for competition so that I could get enough work credit they would let me ride and jump and train. She went to Colorado State University, got a degree in communication, and a couple of years out of school, she heard about and read about this seminar. It was like an EST, like an EST-like seminar about personal and development and human performance. She was attracted to it. Went to that event, and she even volunteered. She was so inspired to help and assist in any way. They said, well, would you be willing to go through our instructor training certification program? It's 2 years. And she said it terrified her. But as she thought about it, she realized, I have to do it. I am fearful, but I have to do it. Became certified, started instructing on human development or human performance around the country, eventually around the world, but it didn't pay a lot. She still struggled to get by. She'd been divorced, was a single mom, trying to figure out how to make ends meet. So in addition to that, she got into direct sales, now network marketing, was selling hair care product because she realized in her human development and performance studies and certification, it wasn't about a transaction, it was about relationship. She simply took her ability to relate to others, and that's how she made a little extra money. Well, one day she was dating a man, and a guy named Tom was dating that man's ex-wife. And they met, and the serendipity brought them together. They became good friends. A couple years later, Tom asked her out on a date. And he calls up, and she says, "You better talk fast. My phone's about to get cut off. I can't afford the bill." He said, "How much is it?" She said, $40. He said, "How much you got in your account?" She said, "Funny you should ask. I just balanced my account. It is 00.01. I'm not overdrawn." Tom came by and said, "That's all right. I'll cover the bill. Let's go out." And it has been a magical ride ever since. That's when she was introduced to network marketing. Together, they have become a dynamic duo. They've been in the same company for 20 years, multi-million-dollar earners. The first hit the top rank in their company. They travel the world with heart, soul, and passion, and they share and mentor and coach with reckless abandon and unbridled enthusiasm. You're going to have such an incredible joyride in these next 20 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet. Welcome to the GoPro stage in the GoPro way, Tom and Denice Chanel.
Thanks, sweetie. Oh, man. I'm going to hire you.
Love you. Thank you, man. Beautiful story.
Oh, my. Wow, there's like a fan here. Oh. All right, ready? Wait, hold on. I always screw this part out. Go, bro! That's the hardest part right there. The choreography is impossible.
Here's the notes I have for your speech.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Hello, everybody. What's going on? Last year I spoke here, and this year Eric said I had to have a chaperone. So it's going to be pretty fun. Hello, honey.
Hold on.
What?
Tom.
What?
Give me your gum.
Sorry about that. Yeah, she's like my mother. So anyway, so this is my wife, Denice, and I know I can look out here and tell you what you are all thinking right now. Do you want me to tell you? What's she doing with him? So that's okay, because we have been doing this together for so long, and it is the greatest life you could possibly ever want. Eric Worre, when he wrote the letter, said, "Tom, we want you guys to speak. It has to have content. It has to be good, and don't screw this up," which was awesome. And we said, okay, we're not going to screw this up, right, honey?
So
here we go.
Potatoes. Potatoes meat meat.
Yeah, go ahead. Take it away.
So, I love Brene Brown, and this statement, when I think about this statement, wow, it's very windy up here. This statement really epitomizes Tom and I think has defined our success in network marketing, because we don't really believe in the whole throw it against the wall and see what sticks, or get through all the no's to get to the yeses, or even I call it the 2-foot rule. Tom always says it's the 3-foot rule, but I must talk really close or something. But
she's a close talker.
But we really believe in not treating people like a number.
Yeah, that's 100% it. And what we've done over a long time is tried to train something called the coffee shop interview. And basically what we want to do is teach people. I mean, every time you get with your prospect, they tell you to build 100 names, and you're looking at those names, and you're going, how am I ever going to get through this? And what we train is something called the coffee shop interview, and it's an important thing for us, because you just heard a couple of minutes ago, Curtis said that I haven't had a drink in 30 years. That was a lie. It's only been 29, but I am a 12-step guy every day of my life, and I have developed the habits of sobriety, and I want you guys to get the same habit in network marketing and start it with 2 interviews a day and 1 3-way call. Is that cool enough?
So that's the thing. When Eric talks about the very first skill, which is finding people, you sit down with your new person and you say, okay, where's your list of 100? And you get that deer in the headlights look, and then it's like the lost sock in the dryer. You never see him again, because that can be the scariest part, is writing down that list. And so the solution is, we teach people to do 2 coffee shop interviews a day and then a 3-way call.
I really want my gum back. So, no, I'm kidding you. Anyway, keep going. So, this is where it ended, by the way. We have gotten truly, unbelievably successful with this coffee shop interview. And it was the end all. I have lived on the coffee shop interview since 1968. This is my secret to success right now. And I promise you, I didn't know what I was doing beyond that until I went to Beyond Leadership with Eric Worre last year. And you know, he talked a little while ago about raising your game and take it to the next level and stop coasting. I was coasting and I didn't even know it. And I realized we, Denice and I, and our organization had to get bad to the bone. We had to show people that this coffee shop interviewing 2 people a day, 3-way and 1 with our upline, was the key to this deal. And then we had to show people beyond that what to do with those people. Because now you've got this huge list of names and things like that. And all of a sudden, you are going, holy mackerel, what do I do this? How do I follow up on all these people? And it's this elephant. Now you were complaining about no leads whatsoever. And now you've got 130 leads sitting in your pile. And you're going, what am I going to do? How am I going to manage this? How am I going to do it? And we're going to show you that right now because it is cool. But before we go there, I'm sitting here trying to read these things back here. And right here on the teleprompter, they've got them everything right in front of me. So I'm not going to look back there anymore. So you're not going to have to worry about that horrible profile anymore. So take it away, honey. I was lost.
Oh, my gosh. Working with Tom is like herding cats. So here's the cool thing about the coffee shop interview. Is that you absolutely have to be present for the conversation. And you're not trying to sell anything. So you have no agenda. So what's great about it is that you can send somebody out there to talk to a complete stranger and they have no fear because they're not doing anything other than meeting someone on a human-to-human basis. They're not trying to push their agenda. They're not trying to sell anything. They're not even trying to talk about making more money or more time. None of that. It's just about creating the relationship. So it's a really safe thing for people to do.
Wouldn't it be great to not have to throw up on people? Wouldn't it be great to not have to look at everybody like they were a prospect? Wouldn't it be great to look at everybody as a human being and look them in the eye, listen to what they want out of their life, don't offer them anything, just gather data, and then look at them a couple of days later, say, I've been thinking of you, and I want to show you something, or I want you to talk to somebody. We want you to shift from barking chihuahua to genuine human being. I'm in Alcoholics Anonymous every day. If I walk up to somebody in AA and I hit them with some pitch, they're already on the edge of the cliff in their life. All this is going to do is push them off it. And I am not going to take that chance. My job, Tim Sales, I think I swiped this line from you. I gave you credit last year. My job is to be interested, not interesting. And I am telling you, if you can live there, and live in what's in it for them instead of what's in it for you, you are going to make it in this business.
So here's the interesting part about what we do, is that you heard Brendan Bouchard talk about courage last night, and it was habit number 6, right? The thing about courage is Brene Brown said in over 200,000 pieces of data that she's taken in, that courage every single time is coupled with vulnerability. And so without vulnerability, no courage. And so when you're meeting someone face to face and you're having a conversation, you're building trust and you're present and you don't have any distractions. There's no phones, there's no products, there's no brochures on the table at all. You are talking to someone on a human-to-human basis. I'm reading a book right now called The Lost Art of Conversation. isn't it a sad thing that we have to have a book called The Lost Art of Conversation? Because people aren't fully present. And the biggest key in the coffee shop interview is to be completely in the moment with no agenda.
Yeah, you fire your brain, you hire your heart. Or maybe you fire your mouth and hire your ears. But whatever you do, it's the most important part. And it's the hardest part. Because you've been hiding behind your product, your comp plan, your company, somebody else's story forever. And when you decide to start drilling down into human beings, and Brene Brown, it's hard to believe I've read her stuff. I'm sure you're thinking that. But she says that every human being that you meet has a story that will bring you to your knees if you listen to them long enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's so cool. Yeah. You've got that story, and you can't wait to tell it. They've got that story, and it's been a long, long time since somebody listened to it from them.
When somebody finally says yes to your opportunity or to your products, really what they're saying yes to is they're saying yes to you. They are finally have a little glimmer of hope that their life could be different, that their dreams, that they could actually dream again, right? And so it's a huge responsibility when someone says yes, and it's just the beginning of the process.
All of us are looking for hope. There isn't a person in this room that doesn't have hope as the one common denominator with all of us. We are in a hopeless world. It is horrible what's going on out there right here in this town with that guy shooting those people. All over this country it's happening. All over this world is happening because hope has disappeared. People are feeling scared. They're feeling angry. They're feeling hopeless. And if there is a profession that has the capability to bring love and hope back to this planet, it's us and the people in this room. We need to do that.
That's right. So what's amazing about the coffee shop interview is it becomes something that you go out on a mission to accomplish at the beginning. And then what you find is it becomes a way of life.
Try this at Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's coming up in 3 days. Is that right? Sometime like soon.
That was
so
very
anyway,
loud.
I have no idea what day it is. But think about Thanksgiving. And don't throw up on your relatives or try to sneak them off or have the whiteboard in the closet or have
Oh my gosh, that is, no, but wait a minute. That is a really good story because this, honest to God, happened. Not to me, but so somebody gets invited over to Thanksgiving to their neighbor's house, right? And out comes the turkey. There's like 12 people sitting around the table. Out comes the turkey and they go, oh, but wait a minute. And no kidding, this happened. Bam, out comes the whiteboard. They give the presentation before Thanksgiving. It's horrible. You can't get up and leave. You still got to eat.
There is nothing worse than standing in front of 10,000 people and getting distracted and you can't get something out of your mind that you've always wanted to do. How are you? I love that guy. Is that cool enough? Well, I've never gotten to do that in my life. I've always wanted to. All right. I couldn't stop thinking. I wasn't even listening to you.
It was such a good story.
I know, I wasn't listening. What'd you say? Oh, I'm sorry. I got obsessed with that guy. Where'd he go? All right, go ahead.
Far away.
All right, hit it.
So,
Tony Robbins says bad words to break into your link of thinking. I did that on purpose because I'm one of those really smart guys. No, that was a lie. Go ahead.
So you go out into the world and you do 2 coffee shop interviews and 1 3-way call a day. And now what you have is a whole bunch of contacts, right? What do you do with those contacts? What most people do is they go, oh, give me your business card. And then you take that business card, you put it in your pocket, and then you get home and you put it in your desk and you have no idea, even a month later, who that person is.
So you contact map everybody. You contact them at a level they've never been contacted before about everything you can possibly imagine. And you put it in the notes.
In your phone.
In your phone, yeah. It's amazing. And all of a sudden, you've got that data forever. And it is so funny. I was just at a political deal, and there was a guy, I was with my son, Adrian, and there was a guy named Wendell Pickett there.
Oh, this is a good story.
It was so funny, because the guy who was standing there, he goes, "Hi, my name's Wendell." I go, "Hi, hi, Wendell, nice to see you." And he kind of goes, "What?" He goes, "What? What? I don't know. I've never seen you before." He was this rich guy, you know, all this real estate and all this jazz, and he thought he was all of it in a bag of chips. Hope he's not here. And anyway, I go, "Yeah, I met you at Silver Creek High School about 4 years ago. Last time the mayor got elected, and you helped Kiki, and you helped my friend Brian, and you had a pair of glasses from the optical center just like mine, and I was mad at you because you told me you got them on sale, and I paid full price." This guy just absolutely about swallowed his cigar and lit up like a Roman candle because somebody remembered him.
First, I think he was a little creeped out.
What?
I think.
Oh, he was flipped out to the max.
No, creeped out.
But that's his problem. He didn't remember me. That pisses me off.
He had no idea who Tom was at all.
That's awesome.
But that,
and I know, so it's crazy, like everybody, because I've got every one of you guys that I mapped. I asked you, send me your information on Facebook. Talk to me. Let me see you. I want to know you better. I remember conversations. I write them down, and I see you 2 years later, and I remind you of that. And it is truly magic. And what it will do for you in your life is unbelievable. It will change everything. This truly is. This thing right back here is truly the... No, not that one. Go back.
I don't know how to go back.
How do you go back? Oh, that one. No. That one. That one I love.
Well, he loves it.
I love this because I said it.
Yeah.
I think I invented this one.
Yeah.
Let's just read it 4 or 5 times. Just don't go to any more slides. No. And those of you that are out there trying to grab contact mapping as a term, I already have it. So don't try that. I already have it. It's out there. I did that right before I came in and sat down. I grabbed contact mapping because it is. That's what you're doing. You're mapping people. Because if you're not agenda driven, if you're just interested in people and writing it down and you map them, it changes the price of poker. I promise you. And you've got it in there. Your phone will do all the work and people will be blown away because you treated them as a human being, not as some prospect in some little to-do list or whatever it is that you were supposed to do that day. 2 powerful interviews a day, 1 3-way call. It will blow your mind.
And people just want to be remembered, right? I mean, my parents go to the same restaurant twice a week because the owner knows them, the manager knows them.
I go to the same restaurant twice a day.
And the staff knows them. Yeah, you do. He actually does. He goes to the same place every single morning.
Forward.
And it's because they know you, right? Everybody wants to be known and remembered.
Yes. So.
Oh, I was going to say something else.
So what we did was we decided a year ago, after Eric's event, we created a little focus group of 25 people. And we thought it was going to be awesome. And in AA, you stay sober. It's 90 meetings in 90 days. That's the whole premise of that. And you don't want to go to the AA meetings. And after 90 days, all of a sudden you're starting to like the people and you're starting to want to go because you've developed a habit. It took discipline for that 90 days. And all of a sudden, about 30 or 40 or 50 days, it's a habit. She figured out that it was actually 66 days. So
I didn't figure it out. Here's the deal.
What?
Can I interrupt you? Sorry.
No, don't interrupt me.
Already did. No, I was reading the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, and he talks about that to be successful, you don't have to do everything right. You just have to do the right thing. And so when you talk about how long when you look at disciplined people, what you're really seeing is someone who's taken a handful of habits and train them into their life. Okay, so like we have a friend, Sanjeev Javia. He gets up every single morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. He was roommates with Tom Brady and Brian Greasy, and so he's like, he's all into health and wellness.
What did he pay you for that plug?
I know, right? I'll charge him later. So He gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and he works out every single morning. He makes all of his meals on Sunday and he eats the same thing all through the week, right? You look at him and he goes, he's incredibly disciplined. That is not